Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamualaikum. Jiayanu Pakhaira Gale Ni Hao Chunashume Washmale. Oh hi, Gonzaimas, Guten Morgen, Hola, Bonjour, Privyet, Kaifa Hal, Halishuma Chatore, Ahlan Wasal Marhaba, Buna Mucho Gracias, Swabia, Balli Kare Aya, Hosh Galden and Ayosai, Huyamora, Chivato, Chihal Jod, Kalimera, Khairutan. And a very warm welcome to everybody who's tuned into Pakistan TV and are watching world this morning. Alongside my wonderful colleague who happens to be Miss Eesha, Rehan, and I happen to be Shahzad Khan. We hope and pray that everybody out there is doing wonderfully well and that you're ready to kickstart your day with us. But first things first, hello Eesha, Assalamu alaikum. How are you feeling today?
Wa alaikum assalam, Shahzad. I feel absolutely great. The weather is extremely blissful and there is a lot of peace and tranquility in Pakistan. But Shahzad, let's be clear, there are forces that do not want Pakistan to be as peaceful and tranquil. They do not want us to be fine. However, I feel like it is very unfortunate for them. It is because the Pakistan civil leadership and military leadership is completely in sync and we are standing taller and stronger than any threat that we face.
Exactly, and Eesha, thank you so much for saying that. And it's forces of Pakistan, alhamdulillah, which have all sorts of might and capacity and ability to make sure that there will be no harm on the territorial integrity and sovereignty of our motherland we call Islamic Republic of Pakistan. With which, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into the highlights of what sort of a program you will be in for today. So first things first, we will certainly be speaking about the nexus, in between, if we are to speak about the Pakistan and the Taliban regime talks. The Honorable Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif has urged the Afghan Taliban to stop terror groups using Afghan soil for attacks in Pakistan, saying Afghan nationals were among the Wana Cadet College attackers. Addressing the National Assembly, he praised security forces for foiling the attack with courage and professionalism. In addition to this, the investigation into Islamabad's suicide blast are underway and all necessary evidence is being collected through backtracking of safe city cameras. Islamabad police spokesperson Muhammad Taqi Jawad told Pakistan TV that CCTV footage has been obtained from over 90 safe city cameras. He said that FIR into the incident is being registered after all necessary requirements are fulfilled. And in addition to this, the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Akbar actually spoke on the Inter-Parliamentary Summit conference, and what he had to say about the Pakistan and the Afghan Taliban regime talks and how it's going to unfold further ahead is something that we will be building up on as well, because Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, is determined to make sure that we get rid of all sorts of terrorists, may it be Fitna al-Khawarij or Fitna al-Hindustan, and then certainly peace will prevail.
All right, and speaking of peace, people have been wanting to disrupt the peace of Pakistan, and an essential issue that we need to discuss is how water is a matter of survival and now for Pakistan's sovereignty. This week, Pakistan welcomed an important development from The Hague, the Permanent Court of Arbitration's clarifications on the Indus Water Treaty, reaffirming that our concerns over India's hydroelectric projects are valid and must be responded. The court forbade any design that could artificially raise water levels beyond the permitted limit, even through later modifications. Despite India stepping back from the process, Pakistan continues to stand firm, engaging in good faith, defending its water rights and upholding international law. It is a proud moment that highlights Pakistan's diplomatic maturity and legal strength and unwavering commitment to protect the water rights of our innocent civilians.
Exactly, and in addition to this, certainly, our honorable ministers have spoken about it, and they have said that, that we will not allow India or the BJP's government of India to use water as a weapon or weaponize it as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, these concerted efforts will continue for the well-being of Pakistanis, alhamdulillah, and it's a great news for Pakistanis which has actually come in. In addition to this, there's another good news, and that is that certainly, I will look for a chance to rope in sports, or particularly cricket. So Sri Lanka's tour, ladies and gentlemen, is going to continue, which certainly is a great news. I would want to thank the Sri Lanka Cricket Board, for making sure that they understand how the Interior Minister, the Pakistan Cricket Board Chairman, Mr. Mohsin Naqvi himself, have promised the Sri Lankan Cricket Board that the foolproof security will be given. There's been a few amendments within the schedule, or rescheduling, if I may put it like that. And the 3 one-day internationals, obviously one has taken place. Now the second one is going to take place tomorrow, and then it's on the 16th. And then for the Tri-Nation Series, all the games will be taking place in Rawalpindi in between Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe and Pakistan. We will be building up on that and how Pakistan is doing phenomenally well at home, and that's exactly what we would want to talk about. For now, ladies and gentlemen, this is your window to go ahead, grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea or breakfast. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Certainly building up on what actually happened in the recent past over here in Islamabad and in Wana, and certainly we condemn it as Pakistanis as well. And not just that, I think what I would want to do is that I would want to kind of establish it in front of our audiences who might have tuned in for the very first time. Now imagine that after all the concerted efforts and talks which have taken place from Qatar to twice in Turkey, to where we actually came to a point that we will be establishing a mechanism to make sure that that we eradicate this cross-border terrorism. And we have been sitting down with the Afghan Taliban regime. The government officials have been sitting down and telling them repeatedly or repetitively that please make sure that you do not let your soil to be used by Fitna al-Khawarij or Fitna al-Hindustan to foil terrorist attacks in Pakistan, or to kind of use that soil as a proxy by India. Now imagine that by all of these repetitive initiatives, what we have seen as of now as Pakistanis, or as a journalist sitting over here, what I've seen is that it does not really look like that the people of the Afghan Taliban regime are ready to listen. And it's because of the fact that we have provided, our government have provided with immense amounts of evidence to the Afghan Taliban regime that your soil is being used for terrorist attacks in Pakistan. Now on this occasion, I think this statement by the Honorable Prime Minister while he was addressing the National Assembly is really important. Please go ahead, hear this one, and then we will build up further.
कि अमन कायम हो, हम चाहते हैं कि अफगानिस्तान इस बात पर आ जाए और पाकिस्तान के साथ अमन में बराबर शरीक हो, आएं, सच के दिल के साथ बैठें और दहशतगर्दों को लगाम दें। आप कमिटमेंट करें, हम आपके साथ पूरी तरह चलेंगे।
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Prime Minister himself has spoken his heart out, and he has spoken the heart out of all those Pakistanis who feel it as well. And what the Honorable Prime Minister over here stated was that Pakistan only wants peace. In all honesty, we're going to request the Afghan Taliban regime to come, sit down, make sure that their commitments are fulfilled, and we will make sure that we go all the way with them on top of these commitments. Now, it's a big statement. We have heard about it. Even not just that, I think prior to this, the Honorable Prime Minister spoke about it, that we would want peace. We are neighbors. It's not that anybody is going to go anywhere, but it does not really look like as the Afghan Taliban regime is actually paying attention to this, which unfortunately for Pakistan, imagine that for the last 4 decades or more, we have been hosting Afghan refugees over here, and that to more than 100,000 people who've studied here, who've lived here, who've got their medical treatments here, and probably have actually built a future over here. Now, it is very unfortunate to see, how the Afghan Taliban regime is actually not paying attention to this. And or probably even the government of Pakistan does not say it from the place of weakness. It's just that we want peace for the people of Afghanistan as well, Eesha. And in addition to this, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister, Mr. Shahzad, on Wednesday said that the cowardly acts of terrorism would never weaken Pakistan's resolve to deal with this menace. And at this point of time, I would want to kind of introduce my wonderful guest, who happens to be Rear Admiral retired, Mr. Faisal Shah, who happens to be a defense analyst. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. Good morning. I am very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Wonderful to have you over here. So, sir, what has happened in Islamabad and in Wana in the past 2 days is something that certainly the government is making sure that, that the Afghan Taliban regime actually mend its way and do not allow, the Fitna al-Khawarij or Fitna al-Hindustan terrorist groups to operate from their soil. That's what Pakistan is actually wishing for, and we have sat down multiple times with them to make them understand. We've given them multiple evidence. But what is it that does not allow them to think as a normal human being?
Thank you for having me in your program. Certainly, these are two very sad incidents that have recently held in Pakistan back to back. And if you analyze their significance, one happened in Wana against a cadet college where our young children were studying. So there was a messaging that they are after our tomorrow, they are after our kids. And one that happened in Islamabad, the messaging is that they have the capability to reach to the capital of Pakistan, and kept having that in capital city of any country is of significant concern. So they are giving their messages, but you see, Pakistan has had only one agenda with Afghanistan, that their soil should not be used against Pakistan, and they should control these elements who are residing inside Afghanistan. I see that there are three problems for Afghan Taliban regime to come to the terms of Pakistan, and that's why they could not give that in writing during the talks between Pakistan and Afghanistan, and the talks were stalled. One is that they are in need of a kind of money, and wherever they get finances from, they just close their eyes from that side, and their India is playing a great role in that. The other is there might be some internal rifts in Taliban regime that have not allowed them, that have restrained them from going into such an agreement with Pakistan. And third thing is that they are not in control of whole of Afghanistan. In fact, they are not the representatives of Afghan people, but although they are at the helm of affairs, so we need to recognize them, we need to talk to them, in fact, because they are ruling so-called in Afghanistan, and they are actually in Kabul. So I think these are three factors that have restrained them from going into an agreement, concrete agreement with Pakistan. I believe they also understand that the situation they are heading towards is not going to favor them also. They are so much dependent on Pakistan. Their transit trade passes through us. More than us, they are dependent on us. And
I would want to kind of bring to your attention over here, sir, which is why I'm going to kind of, mention the Deputy Prime Minister over here, who actually said on the occasion of the Inter-Parliamentary Speakers Conference, which just ended yesterday, that he said that, let me be very clear, these cowardly acts will never shake or weaken our national resolve to deal with this menace. But further, what he said was that if anything, they reaffirm our conviction that dialogue, understanding and partnership are the only sustainable path of peace and security. Now that's something which we understand, that's something that probably the Afghani people understand, but why is it? Because you did mention that, how, they have always been, their economy has been warmongering, the narcos exports is something that is a source of income for them. Why is it that the Afghan Taliban regime fails to understand that for two neighbors who are destined to be side by side for the rest of the world till the time that the world is going to stay over here, and there have been multiple efforts to make sure that we sit down on the table, we've given them multiple evidences, but still it looks like as if it's not getting into their head. Do you think that it will be the hard way now for Pakistan Armed Forces and the government of Pakistan to make sure that they learn their lesson?
You're right. The answer is in your question again, that they have had warlike environment for decades, and they have grown up in that environment, and that has actually turned their personalities like warriors. So they are not proper statesmen. This we need to understand. They are still in the learning phase, and their patience and their vision is much restricted than a country like Pakistan's. Number one. Number two, we have had a stated policy. We have stated very clearly that if ever anything happens from Afghanistan and the linkage is found that this thing had its roots from Afghanistan and Afghan Taliban regime failed to stop it, then we reserve the right uh, address this problem ourselves, and we have done that. We have gone into Afghanistan, bombed some of the hideouts of Taliban TTPs. So we still have that right with us. But the point that Deputy Prime Minister was making was that Pakistan is cognizant of the fact that we both are neighbors and we have to live together till the doomsday. This situation between the neighbors is not favorable in anybody's favor. So one Taliban regime should actually realize the significance of things happening, and they should actually come to the ground reality and must understand this thing that we have to live together and they are dependent on us to a great extent. So the only way, there is no other option but to have a peaceful mutual
Exactly.
coexistence.
Exactly, but Sir Faisal, over here, now I would want to bring into the equation where how unfortunate it is that they blatantly have violated the 2019 Doha agreement. You know, not just that, in addition to this, let's speak about the mediators, which happen to be Qatar and Turkey. And after repeated initiatives being taken to make sure that we sit down on the table, it does not really look like that the talks were fruitful. What do you think that or how do you see the role of the mediators over here, may it be Qatar or may it be Turkey, or all of those countries who actually would want to kind of intervene and make sure that peace prevails within the region? And it is of utmost importance for Pakistan, given the diplomatic ascent and the economic ascent we have seen in recent times since the Honorable Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif Saab has taken to the office.
Very rightly pointed out. I'm a great proponent of very strong diplomatic maneuver that is required by Pakistan. We need to make the world realize that what Afghanistan is doing and who is supporting Afghanistan. So the pressure is to be put on both Afghanistan and the supporter who are doing that, who are supporting these activities in Afghanistan or supporting TTP. So we need to put pressure on both of them until unless this pressure is put and they restrain from what they refrain from what they are doing. I think the problem will not be solved. So Pakistan, as rightly pointed out by you, has had a very good standing in politics and diplomacy right now, especially after May 2025. So we must actually make use of this opportunity and make the world realize that what is happening is not good for only Pakistan, but also for the region and beyond region.
All right, point brilliantly explained. Thank you so much for elaborating on that. And let's speak more about how Pakistan has lost over 80,000 lives in the war against terror since 2001. How do you see this current wave of attacks, especially given the fact that there is clear evidence of the Afghan and Indian Taliban nexus brewing instability in Pakistan? From a defense perspective, how do you see Pakistan installing and expanding its shared regional capabilities to expose this terror?
I propose that there should be a very comprehensive strategy on part of Pakistan, and it should have at least three basic strands. Number one is our stated policy that we have declared against Afghanistan or India. Any aggressive activity happening from there, we will respond back. So that is the first strand of that policy. The other one is a strong diplomatic maneuver, just as I have explained. And the third one is we need to take people of Pakistan into confidence, people of Pakistan on board. We need to take them on board in this war against terrorism. And we need to apprise them. We need to make them aware of whatever is happening around us. And we need to make them responsible for reporting any such incident that is suspicious. And the tripwires that lead to such incidents should be identified by people like me and you. We need to keep our eyes and ears open and report to the government and law enforcement agencies if something suspicious is happening around us. So these are the three basic strands that I propose should be proactively pursued in our overall counterterrorism strategy from now on. We are already late. It should have been done much earlier, but now there is no time left.
Exactly. And sir, one last question before we wrap this segment up as well, and that is that unfortunately for all of these terror attacks which have taken place in Wana, probably the Cadet College, and over here in G11 outside the district courts as well, the timing actually says everything. Now imagine that the Inter-Parliamentary Speakers Conference was going on, Margala dialogue was going on, Sri Lanka team is visiting, and a Tri-Nation series is coming ahead as well. And probably I think that for Fitna al-Khwarij or Fitna al-Hindustan, what they are trying to do is that, for all sorts of diplomatic assent, or how Pakistan, alhamdulillah, has been recognized, and the narrative, alhamdulillah, was bought by, the global audience, is something that actually gives us a clear evidence of what the, just the next door neighbor actually wants. How do you think that we really need to curb the menace of the, Indian proxy being applied within Afghanistan, and how their soil is being used against terror attacks in Pakistan? Just to wrap it up.
I think we need to make it clear to the world, as we have been doing it before also, but we need to do it more proactively, and we need to put our house in order also. We need to take people of Pakistan on board. That's what I have explained earlier also. And if there is any aggressive activity from either side, and we have the proof, we should not only bring that proof out to the world, but also respond back. This is our stated policy, and we should not leave any stone unturned now on, because it's growing and it has reached Islamabad. It's a very significant event. It must have been heard around the globe that explosion has occurred in Islamabad, capital of Pakistan. So many international events are always happening in Islamabad. The whole diplomatic core community is stationed in Islamabad. We need to make it safe. We need to make whole Pakistan safe.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Rear Admiral Retired Mr. Faisal Shah, for being with us. Lovely conversation with you. And on this, or at this moment, or on this occasion, Eesha, there's this one thing that I would want to bring to our audience's attention, and that is that just exactly how the Deputy Prime Minister, the Honourable Prime Minister, has spoken, that that our resolve will be unshaken, and that's exactly the kind of nation Pakistanis are. We're very resilient. Imagine that the kind of diplomatic assent, I'm sorry that I keep on using this word, but that's exactly something which is fascinating for us as Pakistanis, and how we are very well received in on the global platform. We have had the global leaders come down to Pakistan, the cricket teams, the Margala dialogue, and everything whatnot. So which is why I think at this point of time, what I would want to do is that I would want to kind of bring to my audience's attention how during the Inter-Parliamentary Speakers Conference, which just concluded yesterday, Mr. Nur Joslan Muhammad, Deputy President of the Malaysian Senate, was in conversation with our very senior correspondent of Pakistan TV, Mr. Shabbir Wagra, and Shabbir Wagra actually posed him questions. So imagine that, for any resilient nation, what is important? That we do not lose focus, that we keep on progressing, that we keep on working towards our betterment. And that's exactly the kind of questions that our honorable or the amazing team member have asked. He spoke about how the parliamentary relations of Malaysia and Pakistan are, how they will further enhance in terms of, if we are to speak about artificial intelligence, semiconductors manufacturing. So such sort of the focus is something that we're working on, we'll keep on working on. But what did he had to say is something I'm going to share with my audiences. Let's go, let's take a look. Pakistan being resilient.
The cooperation between Malaysia and Pakistan has traditionally been very good. Trading and also investment. I remember Mr. Mahathir, when he was Prime Minister, the relationship between the two countries was very good. There was investment coming in from Malaysia. During Mr. Badawi's time as Prime Minister, I was also sent here as a representative, a director of Telecom Malaysia, where we invested in a company called Multinet in Pakistan to the tune of $100 million. So that has been ongoing, but I think this time Mr. Anwar Ibrahim, our Prime Minister, is looking at upgrading the relationship between Malaysia and Pakistan further, especially in terms of not only trade, but also investment. Maybe there's two-way investment. We must remember also in people-to-people relationship, there are many Pakistan people who are familiar with Malaysia. They studied there, they work there, they open businesses there, and some of them even have families there. So why not Malaysia? We encourage Malaysians to come over to Pakistan and also invest in the future of Pakistan. I think there's a possibility now with the close relationship between our two political leaders and also the parliamentary leaders as well. Malaysia has got experience in semiconductor and also computer technology, IT technology sector, which can also assist Pakistan to improve its IT sector. But the most important point is, how can we improve it using the resources that we have? I was told that Pakistan has many good engineers that can also be trained in Malaysia, and there could be two-way investment for Malaysian semiconductor companies, IT companies to also open up joint ventures in Pakistan. That, I hope, can also improve the telecommunication sector, the IT sector of Pakistan, to take advantage of Pakistan's growing economy.
This, ladies and gentlemen, was Mr. Noor Josran Mohammed, Deputy President of the Malaysian Senate, and this was certainly an example of Pakistan talking the walk. With that, we're actually heading out towards a short break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Good morning. We are World This Morning.
Welcome back to all the lovely people who stay tuned to watch World This Morning on Pakistan TV. And in this exciting segment, we are going to unfold for us Pakistan's victory. This week, Pakistan welcomed an important development from the Permanent Court of Arbitrations, which clarified Pakistan's position in the Indus Water Treaty. It is a proud moment for Pakistan that highlights diplomatic maturity and legal strength. And to further develop on this topic, we actually have an interesting guest in our studios today. He happens to be Dr. Shahzad, a distinguished water expert. Thank you so much for joining us today. All right, it's wonderful to have you in studios with us today. So basically, the Court of Arbitration clarified that India is using the Indus Water Treaty as a tool of weapon. In simple terms, describe to us what the court actually clarified and why Pakistan welcomed this as a significant step.
Yeah, if you remember, when Pakistan decided to go to the PCA, the Permanent Court of Arbitration, India flatly refused the competence of the authority or their authority to get into this arbitration. This award shows that Pakistan was right to take its case to the PCA, and PCA also recognized and asserted that they have the right to, they have the right competence to intervene into this dispute. And that is one big sort of achievement for Pakistan, and all those countries who are having shared water systems across the boundaries, trans-boundary water resources. If we recognize that even the treaties like Indus Water Treaty will not be respected if someone feeling that is more powerful and can avoid its responsibilities within the given treaties, then the whole world will become a kind of a mess. That there will be disputes, wars among the bordering countries. There are many examples, like the Nile River flowing through many countries, but they are still solving all disputes if there is any in a civilized manner. Pakistan in the past also, like Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto, when he came, she offered India, let's live together like civilized countries live. And the answer was that they continued to intervene in our affairs. They continued to suppress the peoples in Kashmir using all kind of forces. So again, another Pakistan Prime Minister offered in the UN that we want to get to the world that you need to help us see that all our disputes are settled in a civilized way.
Definitely.
Otherwise,
All right.
if the two nuclear countries fail to settle it amicably and get to the war,
Yes.
the implications are
Definitely.
far beyond
Definitely.
the borders
Point
of
brilliantly
the
explained.
South
Yes, yes.
Asia. Basically, what the award says that we respect the let flow principle, keep water flowing in the rivers principle. I'll also mention that when we accepted this, Pakistan showed a big heart, because no country will accept that water flow in 3 rivers will completely be stopped.
All right.
Because that affects the ecology of those regions, and we are suffering. And we tried our best to get water flowing in that area through canal systems and in all that system. But we never complained that this treaty is unjust, and we are suffering in the eastern on the eastern rivers. But when India started affecting the flow in the western rivers, where he has agreed in the Inter-Parliamentary treaty that they will keep the water flowing. There are some technicalities where we also need to develop our competency.
And speaking about those technicalities,
Yes.
right? Let's specifically talk about how the court specifically stated that India's run-off river hydroelectric plants cannot officially rise water levels beyond the permitted limits, and this has been a disruption for Pakistan, right? So we've seen how in the summers most of the time India releases a lot of water that disrupts the agriculture of Pakistan, how it is actually going to protect Pakistan's agriculture and security.
That's where I was feeling the technicalities will come in. Unless we politically get the courage to sit together and deal the trust deficit politically, and then come on the table that we are here to solve our problem. If we do that, the technical data requires that what is the pondage level from where we will start calculating whether India is doing more raising more water level beyond that, or remaining below that. Why, if there is a calculated level, the India should not be allowed to raise the height of the gates beyond that level. But how to calculate that level is between two countries to sit together, agree based on the data. And they're more complicated now after this. We were seeing what the climate change is posing challenges to our water system, to our agriculture, to the shifting rains, melting glaciers. So sometimes water will come more than what India requires or what Pakistan requires, and it will create some floods. Other times there will not be enough flow. This is a right like situation.
But Dr. Shahid, over here, since we are talking about all of these technical issues and how people from both the countries will have to kind of come together to speak about it, we do know for a fact how Indus Water Treaty is still in abeyance. Not just that, imagine that for a country where they say that PCA is not a competent authority. What challenges do you think now India will have to face because of these comments that they have said, for using water as a tool of war? What do you think will be the implications, the repercussions? Do you think that there will be any, or do you think that there will be mediators who will have to come in to make sure that the Indus Water Treaty does not stand in abeyance?
There is a significant risk that India will not easily accept this award and then come on the table to settle the things. because I'm assuming that given the political tensions in the region and in the recent past, we have gone through many
Even in
political
the
tensions.
even in the playing grounds, they brought that
Yeah,
politicism.
if they are not ready to come into the playground and then face Pakistani team, and how we can expect that they will easily come on political table to negotiate.
And
water?
on
If
go ahead.
but there is a big if. World community needs to be very conscious about Pakistan's list of red line to use nuclear power.
All right.
And now water is one of the red lists.
True.
After Kashmir,
Oh my gosh.
water is the most significant sort of area in the red list of Pakistan given on nuclear
Exactly.
use. So that shows that water is the lifeline for Pakistan. When Indian Prime Minister says blood and water cannot flow together and we'll
Definitely.
stop every drop of water, we say keep water flowing, otherwise blood will flow in these rivers.
Exactly.
Because we have no other option.
Every nation has
We
the
have to.
right of water security.
Yes,
You've explained that brilliantly. And on this note, let's also dive into the subject about how time and time again India has exploited loopholes in the Indus Water Treaty to actually dismantle the water rights of Pakistanis, right? And what has actually happened is that India has suspended its participation in the neutral expert proceedings, yet the neutral expert has ruled that the case will still move forward. What does this say about the importance of treaty obligations internationally?
Basically, Pakistan should now demand for sort of independent panel or something who can a neutral panel who can interfere and bring the countries together. And then this is a long way of agreeing on different data systems, the transparency, the traceability, the level of water that they should be able to maintain for their hydraulic sort of power generation. And if two countries sincerely sit together, they can solve it. But if India keep using it as a delaying tactics and political scoring, that we are ready to say it, but they never get to any level of even near to the solutions. Given the water that's affecting not only our food security, also our economic security, also because when we see our agriculture fails, it affects not only the food security, it is the lifeline of our economy also.
Exactly.
So we will have to assert, we will have to react decisively if India fails to come on the board.
And that will certainly be the way forward as well. But thank you so much, Dr. Shahid, for being with us, sir. Lovely to be in conversation with you. And thank you so much for wonderfully explaining it to our audiences, whether how, or what benefits now Pakistan will certainly be able to gain after what PC has, ruled out. But in addition to this, I think everybody needs to remember this, that China is at an upper riparian, then there's India, and then there's Pakistan. I think that's a message for everybody. From here onwards, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to kind of rope in sports, as I would always do that, towards the last segment. And since right at the beginning, I did mention that how, Sri Lanka, ladies and gentlemen, is visiting for the 3 one-day internationals, where the first one-day international was won by Pakistan. After the sad and unfortunate incidents which have taken place in Wana or in Islamabad, the Sri Lankan Cricket Board has announced to continue its Pakistan tour to support cricket. The team's visit has strengthened sporting ties and delighted cricket fans. The teams following the Sri Lankan Cricket Board's decision, the Pakistan Cricket Board announced changes to the schedule of the ongoing one-day international series. Under the revised schedule, Eesha, the remaining ODI matches between Pakistan and Sri Lanka will now be played on 14th and 16th of November at Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium, while the T20 International Tri-Nation Tournament will now completely be played in Rawalpindi commencing 18th November with the final schedule for 29th November 2025. Moreover, the upcoming T20 International Tri-Nation Tournament involving Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe, as I mentioned, was rescheduled, and the decision to revise the schedule was made in consultation with Sri Lanka Cricket Board and Zimbabwe Cricket Board as well, following mutual discussions to accommodate operational and match requirements. The T20 International Tri-Nation Tournament featuring Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe will serve as an important preparatory platform ahead of the ICC T20 World Cup 2026, which is set to take place in February, ladies and gentlemen. I think probably 7th or 11th. I'm not really sure about the date. We're very lucky that we've been joined by the expert finally. Ladies and gentlemen, she has Miss Natalia Baqer. Hello Natalia, assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you feeling today?
Walaikum assalam and hello. And I'm feeling absolutely great, and thank you very much for the introduction.
It's perfectly okay. You know, Pakistan's doing wonderfully well in the One-Day International Series. What do you have to say about the rescheduling, you know, of the Sri Lanka One-Day International matches? The two matches are remaining, and then certainly the Tri-Nation Series is going to take place all in Rawalpindi.
Well, Shahzad, absolutely great decision by Sri Lankan team. I would like to appreciate them for, staying and for deciding that the fixture is going to take place and they're going to end this, because this is actually, this is basically, this is the sportsmanship, and that is required. Also that a lot of enemies of Pakistan cannot engulf and digest the fact that international cricket is coming back to Pakistan, and so this decision is basically a big big word to them that international cricket and other sports has been coming to Pakistan. It will come to Pakistan, and we shall, host a lot of big tournaments.
Inshallah, and we will continue to do so. And thank you so much for saying that. And in fact, I would want to kind of thank the Sri Lankan Cricket Board and the Sri Lankan players as well for taking this decision and standing by Pakistan. Because in addition to this, our Pakistan Cricket Board chairman, our Interior Minister, Mr. Mohsin Naqvi, did mention that, how foolproof security will be provided to all of these players who are over here. In addition to this, the Information Minister, Mr. Atatar, has expressed his heartfelt gratitude to the Sri Lankan cricket team for their ongoing support of the game of cricket and for touring Pakistan. In a message shared on social media platform X, the Information Minister said the spirit of sportsmanship remains strong. Sri Lanka has always supported the game of cricket. Tar said he sincerely thanked the Sri Lankan cricket team for visiting Pakistan, and their presence was a matter of honor. I think it's wonderful, and certainly, a lot of thanks from the leadership of Pakistan, people like me and Natalia and Eesha over here. Eesha, are you texting someone?
No, Shahzad.
All right,
so appreciating the team.
Yeah, so now Natalia, let's come down to the performance of
Yes.
the team, which has been phenomenal. Obviously, we have been winning, and for us to kind of set up a target of 299 in the last One-Day International was something which wasn't expected of
Very
them.
unexpected.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what do you make of the first game, first of all, then we'll move on to the second one.
I think the first game was phenomenal. Again, that was really unexpected. The score was really unexpected, and Naseem Shah is a good addition back to the squad.
Oh,
he did a great.
Haris of
4 wickets, really a really nice performance. Again, a very unexpected
Salman
one.
Ali Agha
But Salman Ali Agha, of
with a
course,
century.
but the runs, the batting side still needs to be improved. We expect more from Babar Azam, we expect more from Rizwan, we expect more from Saim Ayub,
Yeah,
we
and
expect
Fakhar
more
Zaman.
from Fakhar Zaman as well. So, 35, 32, 29, 28 is not the score. That needs to be improved.
So are you trying to say that that we've been winning because of our bowling, which obviously might not be wrong?
Yes, it plays a huge role.
Exactly.
It always plays a very huge role when it comes to Pakistan bowling side.
Yeah,
But
that's exactly where the strategy needs to come in. Now imagine that when we were playing against South Africa in the second One-Day International, we did rely on pacers. They weren't able to get wickets, and we lost that One-Day International, that too by 8 wickets. Now imagine on the other hand, when we were playing against Sri Lanka, we did bring in the pacers, but it's the spinners of the Sri Lankan cricket team which actually created difficulty for us. Even Hasaranga got wickets, and he scored down the wicket as well. How do you think that Pakistan really needs to make sure that at home, or probably how do you think that the advantage needs to be taken when you know that there's a team in particular who's spin savvy, and there's a team in particular who is actually pace savvy?
I think that bowling plays a huge role, and the strategy Pakistan is now following, and they have followed in the first match. can be followed in the second as well and third as well because of the advantage that we are playing in the home ground, and that's a huge advantage to Pakistan, and maybe that might be a reason that might stand as a fact that Pakistan had this advantage, and that's the reason why they have won against, because the batting side needs a great improvement. You can clearly see the scores. Those are not the scores you have.
And these are home conditions.
And these are home conditions.
Yeah.
So if Pakistan is playing somewhere out of the home,
that'll be difficult.
You know, that would be extremely difficult. You won't be able to.
I think the evidence is, you know that South African bowler Baqer, when he actually clicked 150 knots on the ball while he was bowling, it was very difficult and challenging for our bowlers. Now, very quickly, let's move on towards, obviously it's all positive, ladies and gentlemen, because out of the, I think, 8 series that Pakistan have played at home since 2015 or the return of cricket, Pakistan have won 7 of them, so let's be,
it's a good number.
Yeah, so let's be happy about that. So I'm going to bring to your attention how in the Hong Kong Sixes, Pakistan have emerged victorious under Abbas Afridi's captaincy. Pakistan won, where most of the teams actually send their retired players. We send our players who are still in that process of development, and alhamdulillah they won. Not just that, imagine, I'm going to read out this one.
Yeah, sure.
The Pakistan Shaheens, led by Mohammad Irfan Khan, reached Doha to participate in the Rising Star Asia Cup. The 8-nation T20 tournament will begin in Qatar from November 14, which is tomorrow. Pakistan Shaheens have been placed in Group B with Oman, India, A and UAE, while Group A includes Afghanistan, A, Bangladesh, A, Hong Kong and Sri Lanka. How do you think that, how crucial or important or pivotal these tours are for all of these players who are actually participating? Because Shaheen Tours is something we have asked for a longer period of time. What do you make of it?
I think that these tours are really important. I guess they create and they have less pressure on the players, and the players actually have a lot of room to improve and practice because of the less pressure and less eyes on them. So they can actually use these tours to improve their skills and to practice more for the upcoming big tournaments where there are a lot of eyes, there's a lot of anxiety and pressure, and they have to deal with.
And Natalia, speaking about upcoming tournaments, right, what particularly is exciting me is the Champions Trophy 2025, which is months away, but Pakistan is hosting it.
Champions
How do you
done.
think? Yeah, Pakistan is going to be hosting Champions Trophy 2025. So how do you think these matches are going to prepare not just Pakistan but the team as well to counteract in the matches?
I think the fixtures they're playing right now are the ones they should focus more on, so that they are ready for the bigger ones, the bigger tournaments. And if they have now the Tri-Nation is coming with Zimbabwe, the team has just landed, I guess almost landed in Pakistan. So these fixtures, these tournaments are the ones where Pakistan can, the team can actually improve. Again, coming back to the batting side, it is really, really important for our players and our big names to improve the scores, because playing why are you laughing? Okay, I get it.
Yeah, I'm just very I think taken by a shock of the well understanding of the game that you have, alhamdulillah, and you keep on bashing our batters. I hope Babar Azam is not listening to
I
that.
expect so much from players like Babar Azam, Rizwan, and then Fakhar Zaman. Come on, just get out of 35, 20 and 29.
And while you're doing that, and while you're saying that, ladies and gentlemen, imagine that Babar Azam actually happens to be top scorer of the T20 International. Not just that, he happens to be the 5th Pakistani batter, which actually scored 15,000 or more international runs across all formats, 5th batter only. And she's over here asking Babar Azam to go for another 50 and a century. And because it has been too long that, that he's not scored a century, and that's exactly what Pakistanis are demanding as fans.
See, it's not only me who is criticizing. It's not only me.
I'm not even criticizing.
A lot of people
promoting, supporting.
Definitely, always aim for the stars, always aim higher. That is the positive perspective that we have on this show. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying tuned, and catch us live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thank you so much, Natalia. Catch us tomorrow live at 10 a.m.
Bye. Good morning. Allah Hafiz.